At This Place in History, we're in Newfane with Steve Perkins, the executive director of the Vermont Historical Society. Steve, people can likely figure out that this railway landmark is what brings us here this week, but why does it?
Well, yeah, Mike. So this is the Newfane train station on the West River Railroad, and the Windham County Historical Society did a beautiful job restoring the property. When we were visiting their new home, we saw some pretty interesting graffiti. So we're going to talk with Dick Merrick, who's the president. There's some graffiti that looks like Chinese.
We've had one piece of it translated that says, when I get out of this place, I'm never going to come back here again. But it is not on the jail side of the building. So our guess, because of the graffiti having several trains on it and things of that nature, this station was built as part of the West River Railroad. And our thought is it might have been a Chinese laborer who was working on the railroad. It was started in 1880. Terminus was in Brattleboro. It was originally intended to go across to Whitehall, New York, where it would connect up with other lines. And of course, it would make every town along the West River the next New York City by having great railroad service. Didn't quite work out. It got as far as Londonderry, and so that's 36 miles from Brattleboro, which gave the line its nickname, 36 miles of trouble, because it was very good at derailments. The station master here, J.J. Green, was killed in a train derailment at the mouth of the West River and the Connecticut River when the trestle gave way under him. He was riding in the front with the engineer, which turned out not to be the best spot to be. They both died. His wife became the station master after that. So we acquired this about 8 years ago in a derelict state and decided it deserved to be saved, and we've been working on it ever since. But we are just extending the last little swatch of track down. We have what is probably the only surviving water tower or tank house in the state at the end of this little stretch of our property, and we have finally have track all the way down there. The interesting thing with the water tower was the spring comes in on the second floor because that's where you want to have the extension to feed the water into the top of the engine. That poses a problem in Vermont when you have water in a large cedar tank on the second floor in the winter. They came up with a very ingenious approach. They decided that they would have a wood stove hooked to a chain, and so they would lower the wood stove to the first floor, load it up, light it up, hoist it up, and have it in a room with the water tank, keeping it from freezing up.
Yeah, who needs 36 miles of trouble when you've got 100 feet of it?
But there also was, at one time, a jelly mill next to this, a building that made commercial jelly, and so they had a little manufacturing operation. There also was a grain house there. So you had kind of a little industrial complex here. One of its biggest customers was a granite quarry in Dummerston, right along the West River, and with the Depression, the need for construction granite was sort of faded away. And with the closing of the granite quarry, the last economic viability of this railroad also disappeared.
So how can people come learn more about this?
Well, we are open from Memorial Day until Columbus Day, or Indigenous Peoples Day as we now call it. We are open Saturdays and Sundays in the afternoon, and our admission, as with all of our museums, is free, donation only.
From 1880 to 1936, it was 36 miles of trouble at This Place in History.
High school baseball season